What's up, guys? Thank y'all again for joining me today on Instinctive Addiction Archery. If you're new to the channel, we're all about shooting bows. You're going to see that real quick. It's all about traditional archery, recurves, longbows. Oh man, any kind of stick bow. It doesn't matter. But what I like to do, guys, is I like to try to help. That is my number one goal in this entire thing, is to help. Okay. And along with that, it comes helping with bows, setups, arrow tuning, bows in general, how to get your bow set up like it needs to be, and how to shoot it, okay? Now, my style is definitely not everyone else's style. There are so many different styles and forms that people use to shoot traditional equipment, okay? All I can do, guys, is kind of open the door to what I do and recommend a few things, okay? So if you are a guy that is just switching over from compound to traditional, let's say you've got you some kind of a traditional bow, or maybe you're thinking about getting one, and you really just don't know where to start, okay, that is where I come in, guys. That is my number one goal, is to help you figure out a process that will get you on target, get your confidence up, get you hitting and having fun, not overcomplicating things, guys. Now, with that being said, I want to go over something today in this video. Here we are in 2024. It's February of 24. We're at the start of the 3D season. And I'm excited. Man, am I excited. Okay, hunted so much this year, had a super blessed season, spent a lot of time in the woods, and just really had a blessed season. Really did. Okay, now it's time to switch gears. It's time to relax, unwind, have fun, get ready for the 3D season. And when I say 3D season, I typically try to make it to at least 2 to 3 a month. That's what I try to do. I used to do a whole lot more than that, but I can't anymore. But I try to go at least a couple of them a month, and just where I can go and shoot these 3D targets in the woods, up and down the hills and hollows and fields, and all kind of trick shots and cool stuff like that. Plus you get to hang out with all the other guys that are shooting traditional bows and have a good time, and you learn a lot. You really do. And guys, that's how I learned. So if I can recommend anything to you, if you're a newbie in this game, go to some shoots. You can watch videos all day long, but when you go to shoots and you're around lots of guys shooting all kinds of different bows, and believe me, it's not like a compound deal. At a compound shoot, it would be a very rare thing for a fella to hand you his bow and say, here, try this one out, see what you think about it. That's not happening, okay? But in trad, yes, guys will hand you a bow and say, here, shoot this one, see what you think. I mean, they'll do that. That's the kind of people, and it's just a different atmosphere. Okay, so that's where you learn what bows you really like, okay? Whether it be a recurve or a longbow, whatever. You learn what poundage really fits you. So you can go to a shoot, and 9 times out of 10, they're going to have a practice range. And there may be vendors there that have all kinds of bows for sale. Used bows, new bows, setting them up for you, whatever the case is. And you can go and actually shoot these bows as long as you want to. I mean, that's what's so cool, because you can really try some of them out before you buy one. So even if you go to a shoot and you don't even have a bow, don't worry about it. You'll get an opportunity to shoot some stuff. You will. And most of the time, guys will hand you a bow and say, here, go shoot the course with it, whatever. Or a vendor may do that. Actually let you go through and shoot a course with a certain bow, and hey, you may wind up buying it. But anyway, you will get the feel of it. All right, so back to today's video. We're going to work on getting ready for 3D. Now, you say, well, what are you doing today, Jeff? Okay, I'll tell you exactly what I'm doing. I've got my 3D bow here. I shoot a lot of them, but this one I'm going to be shooting a lot. And my ILF setup. And I want to show you guys what I'm doing to get ready for that, to get mentally ready, physically ready, nailing everything down before I go and actually start shooting for scores. Okay. Some people don't even hunt. They live for competition. I don't. I am a hunter. My number one thing is to put deer down. Okay, that's what I do. But I love shooting these competitions. I really do, because it keeps you on your game. It's fun. It's exciting. And it is rewarding. Okay, when you do shoot a good round, and especially if you win, yes, it is. It's just a really cool thing. But it's not always about the winning. It's about having fun. All right, so with that said, I'm going to show you what I'm doing right now. I have got my ILF bow here, and I thought about this long and hard, guys. The number one thing that people ask me outside of arrows and setups and, you know, what kind of arrows I need to get for XXX bow or whatever, besides all that, is the shot itself. Okay, it is the actual shot. Once you have gotten a bow that fits you in pounds, and you figure out what spine, what length, what point weight, what kind, all of that, of an arrow that actually shoots good out of your bow, that hits where you're looking, then you can start working on what we call the process, guys. Now, you've heard this a bunch of times, I'm sure, about a shot process. Well, it's as true as the sun comes up, I promise you guys. There is a deal that you have to mentally get down in your mind that is called a shot process. And you have to shoot that process every single shot if you're ever going to be consistent. If you have any hopes of showing up somewhere and actually putting arrows in the kill spot consistently to any extent. And also hunting. It's true. If you don't have a process that involves a step-by-step something you do to shoot your bow, you're just slinging arrows. And what's going to happen, mark it down. You're going to hit a slump. You're going to be inconsistent. You're going to hang it up. You're going to hang it up and say, this is not for me. I just can't shoot it consistent enough to hunt with it. I don't have confidence. Why do you not have confidence in a recurve or a longbow? It's because you haven't mastered it. Okay, so how do you master a single string bow with no sights? Shooting instinctive or using an aiming method, whatever it is. It involves a step-by-step process that you can do repetitively, over and over and over. You got to do the same thing over and over and over and over without fail. If there's any variance in your anchor, where you anchor into your face, wherever it's here, whatever the style is, your bow arm, using your back tension, how you line up on the target, how you draw your bow, how you settle in, how you focus on your spot, everything matters. You got to do the same thing every time. I'm going to shoot one shot and I'm going to briefly explain, sort of in a nutshell, what is involved in my shot process, okay? That doesn't mean that it's everybody else's by any means, but it's what I do, and it flat out works, okay? So, first thing I do is I acquire my target. I say, okay, if that's my target right there, that doe. If that's my target, first thing I do is I look at where I want my arrow to go. And I just think, okay, where do I want to put that arrow? Where does it need to go? Then I line my bow up. And when I line up, I mean I line up as if I pull this bow a quarter of the way back, that arrow's still going where I'm looking because I am already lined up. However, I don't want to do that. And I don't want to snap shoot. I want a full draw with a full anchor, and I want to give myself just enough time to acquire that intimate focus at full draw before I release that string. It needs to be a surprise. The release itself needs to be a surprise, but it doesn't need to be premature. It's got to be controlled, okay? So, you look at the spot. Line up. draw. Get your hook. Get that hook where you can control that string. That is a perfect 12 ring. It is the most perfect shot. If I was at a 3D range, shooting any course in America, that is the most perfect shot that I could have possibly made on that particular target. How? How did I do that? Okay, you say when there's no arrows there, there's nothing to look at. How on earth can you just draw a bow and look and put an arrow exactly, and I don't mean this, I mean this, exactly where you need to put it at 20 yards? How can you do that? Okay, it's because the shot is a fluid process. It's a fluid process that involves various things that are required by you as the shooter to do. Okay, I'm going to try to explain this, guys. That's why I call this explaining the shot process. So I'm going to do my best to explain this, guys. And everybody has one. Some guys, like I said, they aim. They hold the bow much longer than I do. They use the tip of the arrow to aim with. It's called gap shooting. Some guys do what's called split vision, whereas they're really paying attention to where their arrow's at in relation to the target while they're looking at the target. That's called split vision. Instinctive shooting is strictly looking at your spot, coming into your anchor and shooting it, okay? You don't think about anything else, okay? So whichever of the three work for you is what you need to go with. Not just what I do, but what works for you, okay? So the first thing that I do when I'm looking at a target, like say that target there that I just shot, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my hand ready on my bow. You see my fingers? This is just like a compound grip. Same thing. All I've got is my fingertips only touching it. These are not locked down. It's only these two. A slight cant on the bow. Look at my spot. And I mean, I really intently focus on it. Come into my draw. Settle into the anchor, elbow up, and then I shoot. It's all in having your body in perfect alignment. The bow is pointed where it needs to go. The arrow is where it needs to go. It's pointed right at the very path it needs to take, okay? You already have that aligned. And as you look at it, you draw, you come in and you come up with the elbow, with your head in it. Your anchor is somewhere solid. Mine's right under the cheekbone. You got to find somewhere that you can do the same every single time without changing it. You cannot afford to have a variance in your anchor. And by the way, so many people have asked me, what glove do you shoot, Jeff? Well, there it is. I'm going to show you guys. Got my name on it. It is a bear paw. This is a bear paw classic, all of $20. That's it. Super soft grain leather. They stretch easy, so you want to make sure you order it one size smaller because they really stretch out quick. But once they stretch to fit your hand, they're there forever. I can average 2 years out of a glove shooting as much as I do without any holes anywhere. 2 years. Best $20 you'll ever spend. Okay, so that's my glove. Now, this particular bow, this ILF bow that I'm shooting, this is a top archery bow. This is a Chinese bow that costs $130. Okay, $130. I'm not here trying to promote the bows today. It's not what this is about. I'm not sponsored by anybody. There is not a single company on the planet that sponsors or pays me anything to promote their bows. I simply take them as they send them to me, and believe me, there's been a lot sent lately, and I'm very thankful for that because it's fun, guys. I'm loving it. Companies contact me. They send me bows to shoot and to basically do a review for them, you know, give my honest take on them. And there have been many that I just hadn't done it because after I shoot them, I don't like them. I mean, they're not something I would want to shoot all the time. But there are a few that, yes, absolutely. Just being honest with you, this bow included. This bow shoots like a $1,500 bow. I mean, it really does. It shoots like a $1,500 bow to me. I have others that cost under $200, some under $400. That literally, I don't have a custom bow or have not shot a custom bow that shoots any better whatsoever. And they're gorgeous. Okay, so that's why I share these bows with you guys. I share them because I want you guys to know that there are plenty of options out there if you cannot afford to buy a custom bow. And really, I don't recommend it. I don't recommend you buying a $1,500 bow or a $1,000 bow for your very first one. I do not. I recommend you buying something affordable that after you shoot it for a while and you get ready to upgrade, that you can get rid of it, or even if you decide to keep it, you don't have a lot of money in it, or something cheap enough that you can really work on your process before you do that. And you may decide, you know what, I don't even like a recurve. I may want a longbow or whatever. Well, you don't have all that money tied up into a bow that you have to try to get rid of. So it's a great idea to buy you a cheap, good quality bow like a Sandlita, a Top Archery, some of the fabulous bows Three Rivers has. And I mean, guys, there's a plethora of bows out there under $400 that will shoot like a stallion. Okay, I mean, super bows. And I love them. I love every one of them. So anyway, that's why I'm shooting this bow, because of how good it shoots, okay? Not what it costs, because I can literally shoot any bow on the planet. I mean, honestly, guys, there is not a bow, and I just mean this being honest. I could shoot any bow probably in existence, and I have shot most of them at one point or another. When we had the archery store and the pro shop, we traded for so many different custom bows. We dealt with so many different ones. We set up so many of them. We did arrow builds for them and tuning and setups and stringing and all kinds of stuff from so many high-end bows, okay? And some of them were fabulous, some were not, okay? So to figure out what you need when it comes to a real high-end custom bow, maybe you need to go to some shoots and actually shoot them with your own hands and decide if that's the bow for you, okay? That's me. That's how I am, and I'm not going to change, guys. I'm not. With all the respect in the world, because I am a former bowyer right here in the U.S., and I know what it means to get up and go to work every day and try to make a living building a custom bow to pay your bills. I know, guys, I know, and it's tough. It's tough. So with all the respect in the world to all of the outstanding bow companies in the United States, they have great products. They're just never going to be as cheap as these Chinese bows are. They're not. And for that reason, so many people cannot afford to do that, or don't want to do that getting into it. They don't want to spend more than a couple of $100 to even see if that's what they want to do to begin with. So there's nothing wrong with starting with a good old Black Hunter or something like that. There's nothing wrong with that, guys. It's about getting into the game, shooting a bow and having fun, man. It is, especially when you put a good string on one, like a Triple T, something like this, like these cool strings that Trevor builds. I mean, man, that's all you got to do. You buy you a cheap bow, and when I say cheap, I hate to use that word loosely, but a bow that's priced for a couple of $100 or less, you know, they shoot amazing. They do, especially when you put a good string on them. They are really good quality bows, but they will get you out there in the game, get you to shooting and working on what matters, and that is what we just did, and that is learning how to shoot a traditional bow correctly. Deadly accurate. So that when you go hunting, there's no question. When you go to the 3D range, there's no question that I'm going to shoot good, because you got your head in the game, you have a process, because I'm telling you guys, if you don't have one and you're just gripping and ripping, slinging arrows, no, you'll never last. You will bail out, you will hang it up, and you will go back to a compound or do something different. Trust me, you will. It happened to me until I finally just got mad I got mad and decided, you know what? And I've shared this before. There was a day that I walked out in my yard with a Bear recurve. By the way, I love Bear bows. I do. I mean, they're very affordable bows. Great bows for the money. They shoot amazing. Okay. So, there was a day that I stepped out and I got mad and I said, I am going to master this bow. It is not going to whip me. Not going to happen. I was so determined. The problem was I was fighting that bow because it was too heavy of pounds. It was a 55-pound Kodiak Magnum. 55-pound bow. It was at minimum 10 pounds too heavy for me. And I actually learned to shoot that bow and I made myself shoot it accurately. But when I got off those pounds and I went to a 45 that was really smooth, a little longer bow, oh Lord, it was a different world. Matter of fact, I bought me a Hoyt Satori. Man, the Satori was like a game changer. Oh Lord, I got out there and shooting that thing like a compound. I mean, that was the one I shot the 60-yard shots and the 50s and all that. And I mean, I could literally drop bombs with that thing Instinctive with 50 and 60-yard shots. Awesome. Okay, so yes, the bow does make a difference. You have to find a bow that's going to fit you correctly and not be too many pounds. Okay, that's why I like ILF bows, because you got about 5 pounds of adjustment in weight alone. Not just your tillering, but you have some weight adjustment. But anyway, back to this shot process. You have to have a process that's going to work for you. No different than, okay, if I shoot this bear right here and I look at the center of that bear's chest, I know that score's right there at his chest. It's all black. There's nothing little to look at. So I have to imagine a spot right there where this arrow needs to go, line my bow up, come into my anchor, get the elbow up, which brings my shoulder blades together, so I'm locked and loaded with my head in it, everything in line, and I'm looking at that spot and my sight picture window. This is your sight picture. When that sight picture looks good, I let her rip. If it takes a half a second or 3 seconds, that's what I do, guys. That's what I do. But it is a good idea when you hit anchor. It's a good all-around idea to try to count 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, and if you release by a surprise release somewhere in the 2 Mississippi area, great and fine, if that arrow's hitting exactly where you intend it to go. But if it's not, then you're shooting premature. You're letting your mind say, let go, let go, let go, let go. You have to kill that. You have to kill that. You cannot be a snap shooter and it not be by your choice, okay? You can't do that. You have to control that bow long enough to where you are settled and you're comfortable. You're comfortable. And your mind will tell you that you are on. It will tell you you're on. You're there. Okay? That's why people shoot clickers. Shoot the old bear right fast. All right, let's shoot another one. And I'll try to get where I can show you guys. I have a target over here on the side, and I'm going to do a side view shot to show you what it looks like from the side here. Right in. I'll do it again. One more time. There it is. Okay. So, okay. Maybe you'll be able to see my shoulder blades and back here in action. Maybe you will. Dead on. Okay. Now my release itself came from just that little bit of an expansion, if you will. Dead on. I mean, there, in there. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So that's that angle. Now I'll do a little bit more forward angle. All right. So I'm gonna shoot kind of forward where you guys can see a little bit more of what it looks like. Ready? Okay. It's just hitting your anchor and expanding. That's it. Locked and loaded. Just like that. That, my friends, is probably the most simple shot process that I can think of. And it's what I do, okay? So whether you're aiming or whether you're not, both of these still apply. So in other words, if you're a gap shooter, yes, you can still take this exact concept and it will work for you all day long. If you're shooting split vision, really paying attention to that arrow with your dominant eye in relation to your target, absolutely it's going to work. Because you still use the same mechanics, the same way you grip your bow, lining up with the target, coming into your anchor, bringing your elbow up, getting the back tension together with your head in it, focusing. Now, if I was aiming, I would simply close one eye. I would close my left eye, which would be my non-dominant eye. I would close that eye, or at least squint it, and I would move that tip of that arrow around on there, and I would hold that bow until the tip of my arrow was right where I wanted it to be before I released, and then I would expand through the shot. That would be a perfect executed shot for an aiming system. It's what so many guys do. But I don't. I am strictly a focus guy. I focus and I execute. That's just how I shoot. Okay. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this today. I hope it's been helpful to you as we get into this spring 3D season. Man, so much cool stuff coming up. Gonna be shooting a bunch of different bows, lots of different setups and things, and I'm gonna hopefully shine some light for you guys that will help you tremendously. I really, really hope it will. But I hope that this video has been a blessing to you. Thank you for watching. If you haven't liked, subscribed, hit that button. If you like it, hit the like button. All it does is makes YouTube share through their algorithm thing. It supposedly helps them share the videos to other places that typically don't. So, if you liked it, hit the button. If you want to subscribe, hey, I would appreciate it. If you don't, just watch them periodically. But if you do subscribe, every time a new one pops, you will get a little alert that says, hey, there's a new video out from Instinctive Addiction Archery with Jeff Phillips. So you can check it out. And it may be something that'll help you guys. I appreciate it more than you know. And I just thank the good Lord in heaven for what he has done in my life, for this channel, for hunting, for traditional archery in general, and how he has blessed me. Guys, this has been a boomer year. I mean, a boomer banner year for me already. Not only my most successful bow hunting year ever, out of all the years I've done it, things just came together and it just happened this time. it just happened. But anyway, all that, and I got all these companies sending me these cool new bows. I mean, super cool recurves and longbows. And all I got to do is kind of shoot them and see what I think. You know, I mean, No, there's nothing expected, okay? And that's the only way that I want it. Guys, I would never want to be in a position, not for any money because I don't need it, okay? To be to where I had to say that somebody's product was good for $1. Not gonna happen with me. Not gonna happen, guys. So if you think that Jeff Phillips is sponsored by bow companies, you're bad wrong. That's not happening. No. I just shoot what I like. I shoot what I like and what I feel like is a good bow for anybody watching this channel. If I tell you the bow shoots good, you can take it to the bank. The bow shoots good. If I've got it on here and I'm shooting and I'm showing you how this thing shoots, this one or any of the other ones, and you see it in action, you can bet if you order one, you're going to be happy, because every single person that has ordered anything that I've shot in any video, any of these bows, no matter what brand they are, anybody that shot one of those has been like, man, I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm glad you recommended it. I love it. That's all it's about, guys. It's all it's about. Custom bows are one thing. They're a work of art. They're hand built, but when it comes to mass produced bows, they are absolutely great. They are great bows. They're just a lot cheaper. They're a lot more affordable. Okay, so take it for what it is, guys. That's my stance on it. That's where I'm at, and I'm not going to change. I'm not going to back off. I'm just getting started good. I will always bring you guys what I feel is a good product for you, no matter what company it is, no matter how much it does or does not cost. If I feel like it's a good product, that I think it'd be something that would help you, that would better your experience, then I'm going to give you my take on that. I'm going to give you my recommendation on it, and it is what it is, guys. Thank you for joining me today on Instinctive Addiction Archery. I love you guys. God bless.